brace yourselves, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Let's do this in alphabetical order. First off, here's The Accidental Tourist, which is that one and that one. Yeah, I had that quite a while. Adventures of Tintin, one of Williams's very few animation soundtracks. I think that's probably the first animated film he did. What's next? AI. Brace yourselves for the fact that I've got several soundtracks that have come out on expanded releases where I've only got the original ones. This is only the original Warner's. Sorry. What do we got? Another one that fits in that category is Always. I think possibly my least favourite John Williams score. A lot of people said they didn't like it when it first came out, but I've since warmed to it over the years. Maybe I need to re-listen to it. And we've got some telly. We've got Amazing Stories. This one is the single disc with Williams' main title and the episode The Mission, and then Georges Delerue with Dorothy and Ben. And this one is more of a compilation, 2 discs, all sorts of quality composers, as well as Williams and Delerue. There's James Horner and Bruce Broughton, Billy Goldenberg and Danny Elfman, and others. What is next? Amistad is next. Very nice. Was it Dry Your Tears, Africa? Yes. Good one, that one. And Angela's Ashes. And the next one, a bit of a rarity. See if I can get the camera to recognise that. Tuesday's theme, can you see that? That's the single from Bachelor Flat. For a long time there wasn't a proper album apart from a hooky download of Bachelor Flat. I think there now is as a part of a twofer. Can't remember if it was by La La Land or Entrada or one of those. Then we have the BFG, second piece of computer animation. And Black Sunday. And the relatively recent one, The Book Thief. And then one of my favourites, which I think I've mentioned before, is 4th of July. Definitely the one that I want there to be an expansion of. The songs are great. I do like the songs actually. Hard Rain's Gonna Fall, Brown Eyed Girl, American Pie, Moon River, Henry Mancini. But there's not a huge amount of score, and it's a very good score. So come on guys with the expansions, work on that one. What's next is Catch Me If You Can. And then Checkmate. Now can you even see where it says Johnny Williams in the faintest possible font there? Terrible bit of design that. TV series obviously, and that's paired with another TV series, Hong Kong, by Lionel Newman. Then we have John Williams being funky, Cinderella Liberty. It's nice to have that around. And Close Encounters is next. That's the original Alhambra CD. Well, I say original, I mean, you know what I mean. As opposed to that, which was the shiny, sparkly one. And bought much later in a charity shop for about £1, I think. Ah, look at that. fact I'd already got it on CD, it's like, it needs a good home, a record like that. So I thought, I'm a good home for it, I'll have it. And the Cowboys, there's the original Varese, and then there was the expanded one that they did. I did myself a custom cover for that, just for funsies, which is that there, which I've slotted in front of the real one. What have we got? We've got Diamond Head, which is paired with a load of Schifrin score Gone with the Wave. And then we've got Dracula. Vinyl original. CD original. And the recent, very, very nice expanded one. It's the box that came in. It's got the extra second booklet in it. Then test your speakers with a rumble on the start of Earthquake. Another case of bought the CD first, saw the vinyl going cheap, thought give that a good home. Next one is the Eiger Sanction. What have I, yeah. Put that in sideways for some reason. So that's the original Varese short disc, and that's the more recent Entrada expanded one. Eiger Sanction, one of my favourites, so I was glad to get that when it was expanded. Next is a trick joke one. Fool Your Friends, Emma's War. What is this, you say? I've never heard of it. It is by the other John Williams, the guitarist. I think this is his only film score, and it's not bad at all. So, you know, give it a go. Then we have Empire of the Sun, which I first got on cassette and then on CD. I mentioned in the previous one the Symphonic Suite of Empire Strikes Back, but the majority of the Star Wars stuff I'm going to do all together under S. Then we have E.T., the extraterrestrial, original MCA version and expanded La La Land version. Marvellous. If you've got any John Williams and you haven't got E.T., there's something wrong. Family Plot. It was nice that John Williams got to work with Alfred Hitchcock. Shame it was well past Hitchcock's prime, but hey. Far and Away. That's another one that's had a recent expansion, but I've only got the original. Then we have Williams' first Oscar winner, Fiddler on the Roof. Obviously in that case it was an Oscar for Best Adaptation. Because it was adaptation. Yeah. Whoops! Disc's falling out of the jewel case there. Yeah. Another vinyl. We have Fitzwilly. Got that. Where did I get that? That must have been Rare Discs Limited in London. So that was the successor to 58 Dean Street, I think. We have The Fury, another Stone Cold classic. And then we have one of those TV pilot discs there that FSM put out. That's Ghostbreaker, which he did, and it's paired with a similar thing, Jericho by Jerry Goldsmith, so I could have included that in my Jerry Goldsmith collection video, but I forgot. Then we have another one of the adaptations, which, if I can stop that falling over, is Goodbye Mr. Chips. Obviously the original composer for that is Leslie Bricusse, sadly no longer with us. Look at that lovely suave young gentleman there in his trademark outfit. And Guide for the Married Man, part of the kind of 60s sex comedy period that he went through. Then of course there's Harry Potter. See, I'm rattling through these. Harry Potter, John did the first 3 of those. So Philosopher's Stone, not Sorcerer's Stone, Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban. Heartbeats, took me ages to get hold of that. Limited edition, 3,000 copies, Varese. And Heidi, lots of narration on that one. What have we got? Home Alone 1 and 2. Hook. That's another one that's been recently expanded, and I've only got the original one. The original one was pretty long. It was 70 something minutes on its own. How to Steal a Million, or Wie klaut man eine Million, on that Tsunami edition. More part of the 60s sort of screwball comedy period. Then we have Images. This is the Prometheus disc. I know there was another recent version of that. And then we got on some Indiana Jones. We have Temple of Doom, which is also on tape. So I think I got the tape for that in Dean Street, I reckon. Yeah, £8.95 Dean Street, 1993. And similarly, Last Crusade. Sneaking suspicion that I bought that much more locally. Yeah, got that in my local copy branch of Our Price. And their price was $7.99. That is my favourite of all the Indiana Joneses. Your mileage may vary. Then there is, of course, the very silly film but perfectly reasonable score, Crystal Skull. Fingers crossed for number 5 that it's going to be good. Who knows? That's good. Jane Eyre. If you haven't got that, go get it. It's a stone cold classic. Then, you know what's coming next. Why is that not focusing? Hello, focus. Jaws. And the expanded version. Collector's edition. And all new music. Not a rehash. Good new stuff in there. Jaws 2. Marvellous percussion on JFK. That's a cracker. Ba 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 da 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 dum bum bum. There's a good title song. John Goldfarb, Please Come Home. That's Shirley MacLaine doing the title song for that, I think. Then we have Jurassic Park. Yes, I've only got the original version of that. Interesting typo on, I think, on the back. Typo on the back of that. I don't know if you can see that, but where it should say music group. No, it's not going to focus on there. Come on. It's not going to do that. But where it should say Bertelsmann Music Group, it says Muisk. Not as interesting a mistake as the one that's got no teeth on it, but a mistake nevertheless. Jurassic Park 3 obviously is mostly Don Davis, but with bits of John in it as well. You might be saying, where's Jurassic Park 2? Well, that comes later under L for Lost World. But before that we have a very stately late period Americana with Lincoln, and one of Williams's few mono-thematic scores. I believe that was just because the director asked him to. That's Robert Altman. There's Mortelli, Lost in Space. Ba da ba da ba ba ba. Then there you are. There's Lost World, Jurassic Park, the Dinorama version, and there's the Man Who Loved Cat Dancing with the Legrand score on it as well. That's really good. Memoirs of a Geisha. Sayuri's theme is a perennial concert piece. Midway, not to be confused with the more recent film of the same name. Then we have Minority Report, John Williams and Steven Spielberg not going schmaltzy for once. And then we have Monsignor, two versions of that, the original and the expanded. Those are both on Intrada, I think. What is next? There is Misery Breaks, or just Missouri as it appears to be called on this vinyl. And I think that was bought in 58 Dean Street as well. Certainly got that somewhere in London. And then here's a very early piece. It's the TV series M Squad, which has got a couple of pieces by John Williams, or Johnny Williams as he was then, along with Count Basie and Benny Carter and Stanley Wilson, who was the kind of music supervisor for the studio, so he also wrote some tracks on that. M Squad. If you've got Ira Newborn's Police Squad Naked Gun scores, and you haven't heard this gives you a good idea of what Newborn was parodying. Munich, of course, and another one of those TV pilot jobbies, Night Watch, and that one is paired with a Quincy Jones, Killer by Night. Then we have 1941, fun score. The Swing 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 track is just brilliant, as well as the march, obviously. We have Nixon, which is another great one. I think somebody once said that there's tracks in that that could very easily be like Star Wars villain music. Turbulent Years, I Am That Sacrifice, good tracks on that. We have None But the Brave. We also have Not With My Wife You Don't, and that's paired with George Dunning's Any Wednesday. Another one that took me ages to get hold of because it was a bit hard to find was the Paper Chase, and that one's paired with Poseidon Adventure, although I've got a separate disc for that as well later on. Paper Chase, what follows Paper Chase? Patriot follows Paper Chase. Mel Gibson. And another twofer is Penelope, which is paired with Bachelor in Paradise by Ennio Mancini. Is that a 2-disc? Yeah, that's a 2-disc, that one. Then there's the other version of the Poseidon Adventure, all on its own, and that's a La La Land. And up to date, relatively, with the Post. And Presumed Innocence, that's the original Vareus one. I have got the expansion on order as we speak, so that should be with me in a few days' time, I hope. What's next? The Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, not that way up, that way up. There we are. Very odd to have a cassette in landscape. There we are. Pretty sure that was at the same time as the other one. That was Dean Street in 1993 as well. $7.95 for the tape of that. What is next? The Reavers. The Reavers. There's the CD version. And there's the back of the LP. Can you see what that is on there? That's why I've got that in a frame hanging on the wall, because it's signed. Next up is The River on CD and vinyl, and Rosewood. I didn't even know that existed until I was rifling through the racks at London Records branch of Virgin Megastore, Oxford Street, and there was this thing that said music composed and conducted by John Williams. I was like, I didn't know about that at all. When did I get that? I got that in June 1998. Yeah, so it had been out a year. This is what you get in the pre-internet days. Things that you didn't know about. Sabrina, with Sting on it, obviously. And Saving Private Ryan, much beloved of of radio stations, who love to play Hymn to the Fallen and nothing else. And we have Schindler's List, the masterpiece, the Oscar winner, with the Itzhak Perlman violin solos, followed almost immediately by 7 Years in Tibet with the Yo-Yo Ma cello solos. And what is next? A very solemn and serious subject matter for sleepers. And another one that took me ages to get hold of is Space Camp. That's the Entrada version, 3,000 copy version. Stanley and Iris, that's the original Vareus, which came in one of those tall box things, and I've no idea why, but it did. And that is followed by the expanded version, which has also got music from Pete and Tilly on it as well. Then we get into Star Wars stuff on tape and CD, the Sony Skywalker Symphony compilation. But of course not just that. There is, as I have shown before, the Gatefold original vinyl. This is the one that is slightly purple if you hold it up to the light, and it's got the poster and the sleeve notes, which tell you all about what the themes, who they originally represented, which we all know about. And then of course there's the Polydor double CD box, and then once it was re-released and became episode 5 A New Hope, 4 A New Hope, dearie me, yeah, that's a bit ragged. And of course the Fox big box, I'm going a bit out of order with these. We have the 3 prequels: Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, not in that order. Attack of the Clones has of course got Across the Stars live theme on it, which is, if you don't get anything else from the prequels, that is just classic. Of course the Duel of the Fates is on number 1. Yeah. Across the Stars, I think I've said before, reminds me of the Jane Eyre love theme. And none the worse for that, because they're both brilliant. Anywho, Empire Strikes Back, or Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back, whichever you like. Return of the Jedi, or Episode 6 Return of the Jedi, whichever you like. Then for some reason with episodes 7 and 8 they decided not to go with jewel cases but with sparkly digipacks. Only to go back to a jewel case for episode 9. It's nothing like consistency, and that is nothing like consistency. What do we have next? We have Stepmom. Nobody's favourite. It's fine, I'm joking. Then we have, here's another obscurity for you. Single by Ornella Vanoni, Uno di qua, l'altro di là, which is all you're ever going to get from Storia di una donna. Well, we can hope that we might get the full soundtrack, can't we? But that's it at the moment. Then we have The Man Who Is Super, You'll Believe a Man Can Fly. What have I got? I've got that, which is the Warner's disc. And I've got that, which is the sparkly Rhino double disc. And then just in the last fortnight I managed to find at a decent price that, which is the La La Land triple disc. Excessive? No. Then there is Superman 2 on vinyl. This is of course Ken Thorne adapting, mostly for Superman 2 he's adapting Williams' stuff. I'm going to get the disc out and show it again, although I've done so before, because this is the one that's got the Superman logo laser etched into both sides alongside the music, which is cool. And Superman 3, in which Thorne was allowed to do his own thing a little bit more, so there's a lot more of Thorne in that and somewhat less of Williams. And then there's the La La Land 3-disc set of those, which I've paired together. So that's got Thorne's and Williams's and Moroder's music in it. And then there's Superman 4, which I've only got on CD, and that's the La La Land version of that, which is Williams and Alexander Courage. And then what have we got? We've got The Terminal, Victor Navorsky, Tom Hanks. We have John Williams's only, I think, foray into the world of stage musicals, Thomas and the King. Obviously not a world he was enormously keen to revisit. Hey ho. Tom Sawyer, collaboration with Sherman Brothers, for I think it was like a Reader's Digest film or something like that. Very odd. And we have The Towering Inferno. I got that in 1995 in Dean Street Records. Towering Inferno. What's next is Valley of the Dolls, which is adaptation and interpolation and what have not of Andre and Dory Previn's songs and music. We have a couple of bits of war. We have War Horse, sort of very English pastoral kind of stuff, and War of the Worlds, kind of atypical style, not melodic, but anyway. And then we have Witches of Eastwick. Again on vinyl from Dean Street Records, because that was unavailable for a very long time, and I was pleased to get hold of that. And then sometime later it came out on CD as well. That, I think, is everything for actual film scores. We've got some box sets. We've got the Berlin concert, which is fold out jobby with CDs and DVDs and whatnot. And the Vienna concert, which is likewise slightly fewer. Wouldn't it have been nice if there was one of these that said the London concert? I was there, he wasn't. And then there's, these are all Deutsche Grammophon, and then there's the Across the Stars thing with Anne-Sophie Mutter, which is also a fold out jobby. What else have we got? We've got some various bits and bobs. We've got the Violin Concerto, or Violin Concerto number 1 as it is now, and Flute Concerto together. Not a fan of the Flute Concerto, a bit too avant-garde for my liking. We have Jazz Beginnings. There he is, look at him before he grew the beard. This has got some of his earliest compositions along with him and his band playing a lot of stuff by other people. We have a Yo-Yo Ma compilation. And we also have another newer Yo-Yo Ma. This one just arrived a few days ago. It's actually got some of the same things on it, but it's got some other bits and bobs as well. Yeah, I think it's got some other bits and bobs as well. They've both got the Cello Concerto, although this is a revised version apparently. They've both got 3 pieces from solo. They've both got 3 pieces from Schindler's List. Never mind. Anyway, 2 Yo-Yo Ma things. Some of Williams's kind of tree-related concerto stuff. There we are. We have Tree Song and 5 Sacred Trees, and that's also got some music by other people, Takemitsu and Hovhannes and Picker. Then we have, what have we got? We've got that, which is not conducted by John Williams. It's the City of Prague fill. It's a compilation of all sorts of stuff, most of which you can go, yeah, got that, got that, got that, got that, got that. What's the point in having this? But right in the middle of it, there's an 18.5-minute suite from The Rare Breed, which, as far as I can see, is about the only recording of anything from The Rare Breed. So if you're interested in that film, that's the disc to get. There's Gloria Cheng's piano album, which has got, as you can see on the front there, music by John Williams and Randy Newman and Giacchino and Desplat and Davis and Broughton. There's that, Call of the Champions, mostly sort of Olympic stuff. There's that, Some of the Heroes, which is also Olympic stuff, but you know, it's got Vangelis and Miklos Roja and Joseph Suk and Leonard Bernstein and Mikis Theodorakis and all sorts of people on there as well. And we've got some things that have got Williams with other composers. 20th Century Concerti, that's got his tuba concerto on it, along with Jermaine Taillefer's harp concerto and a couple of others. There's that, which is, as you can read there, American Premieres for Brass. So it's got Sound the Bells and Fanfare for a Festive Occasion, along with some Michael Tilson Thomas and some Bruce Broughton and some other people. I didn't know Tilson Thomas was a composer as well as a conductor. Do now. And then there's that, which is Williams' Trumpet Concerto, along with the Essay for Strings, and a couple of pieces by Kevin Kaska. There's that, which is a TV compilation from the 60s and 70s, which I've included because it's got what has it got? It's got some John Williams in it. Yes. 17.5 minutes of the episode The Bronze Locust from the series The 11th Hour. But it's got other stuff by Jerry Fielding and George Dunning and Lalo Schifrin and Billy Goldenberg and Dave Grusin and yeah, so good composers. And finally, the 20-disc John Williams Conductor box set. Give you a quick rundown on what's in that. I think Birdman's gone through most of these already anyway. It's Joy to the World, it's Christmas stuff. I'm going through these in the wrong order, I think. Music of the Night, Broadway stuff, so it's got Sondheim and Bernstein and Lloyd Webber and people like that on it. There's another copy of the Star Wars compilation. There's the Spielberg-Williams collaboration Volume 1, as it became. I've got that somewhere on tape as well, and I can't find it, but there's the card sleeve version of it. There's I Love a Parade, which is lots of sort of Sousa mostly, but people like that. It's got Alfred's Colonel Bogey on it. More Tree stuff, the Green album. So that's real kind of Americana, Western stuff, you know, Ferdy Grosse, Aaron Copland, Leonard Bernstein, Dmitri Tiomkin. There's Night Day, which is kind of musicals. Frank Lesser, Cole Porter, Richard Rodgers, those kind of people. There's Unforgettable, which is another of that sort of thing. It's got Marvin Hamlish and Richard Rodgers and Glenn Miller and George Gershwin and that sort of thing on it. Music for stage and screen. It's got a few tracks from Born on the 4th of July plus Copeland's The Red Pony. Swing album. Count Basie, Jimmy Van Heusen, Harry Warren, Duke Ellington. There's another classic Spielberg compilation, obviously Hawk, Empire of the Sun, Jaws, 1941, Schindler's List, yeah, all the usual. There's another copy of Summon the Heroes. There's Cinema Serenade, which is showing off Itzhak Perlman. It's got Louis Bacalov, Il Postino, and John Barry Out of Africa, and the rest of the stuff. Morricone, Cinema Paradiso. Another copy of The Five Sacred Trees. The Hollywood Sound, all sorts of people on there. Ryuichi Sakamoto, Nino Rota, Bernard Herrmann, Alan Menken, Hugo Friedhofer. There he is conducting Joshua Bell on the violin with some George Gershwin and various stuff like that. There's Cinema Serenade 2. Golden Age stuff. Victor Young, Max Steiner, Miklos Rozsa, David Raksin. Another copy of the Yo-Yo Ma album. A copy of American Journey. And part 3 of the Spielberg collaboration. This brings you up to date relatively with Warhorse and the Terminal in Munich and Saving Private Ryan and stuff like that. There you go. That is my collection. Oh, it's not. One more thing. Yes, Giorgio. Which is mostly classical songs, obviously stuff for Pavarotti to sing, but it's got some score by why can I never remember Michael J. Lewis? Michael J. Lewis, and a love song theme by Williams. That, I promise, is everything. Look at that, 40 minutes. Goodness gracious, have you people not got homes to go to? I think I need to go and get something to eat. So, stay fresh, cheese bags. That's all from me.